Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And this is absolutely one of the greatest recordings ever. It's Copland, music for films, featuring the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Leonard Slatkin. Boy, are these folks in their element with this music. It's a glorious disc, fabulously well recorded. It sounds amazing. You know, Copland's film music, well, Copland was one of those composers who had an extremely high level of quality in the way that he worked and the way that he wrote. And his film music, which he enjoyed doing, by the way, was like anything else he did. I mean, it was quality stuff. There's no bad Copland at all. Nothing that falls below a certain level of what you might call taste. I mean, we hate to define that term and probably can't. But his music is always up there in terms of its craftsmanship and style. And the music here is just amazing. And if you don't know it, you really need to. First, we get the Suite from the Red Pony. Now, this, I mean, I hated the book. I can't stand John Steinbeck, but that's okay. The movie itself, I never bothered with either. I just adore the music. It's like Copland's Western style on steroids. I mean, there's a purity and distillation of that kind of wide open, innocent simplicity that features in some of those American ballets and whatnot. And, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fun-filled movements, including the happy ending. But it's happy without being trashy. You know, Copland could be really kind of big and bombastic, but it doesn't sound vulgar somehow. There's just a big-heartedness about it that's so impressive. It begins with Morning on the Ranch. Then you have The Gift, a dream march, circus music, which is hilarious and really, really clever. It's fun. The Walk to the Bunkhouse, which is unforgettable. It was used as, music to introduce like radio shows and other things later. It's terrific. The Grandfather's Story, and finally, the Happy Ending, which recalls the music from the opening, giving the whole thing a very nice and fulfilling shape in 23 minutes. And I have no clue why this music isn't performed more frequently. I mean, it's just a real crowd pleaser of a piece, and it's stunning. Then we get music from the film Our Town, and then the Heiress, which was reconstructed by Arnold Freed. He did the Heiress, whatever that was. It was about an heiress, I guess. And finally, music for movies, which is a 5-movement suite of stuff taken from his various work on films that he arranged for concert use. Because remember, in those days, doing just a plain film score, exactly as he wrote it was sort of unheard of. In fact, there's a real rather sad story. But Copland's greatest film score was for the movie Something Wild, which was a 1961 film noir, a really, really grim story about, rape and domestic violence and, the horror of living in the city. And, oh gosh, it's really creepy. And the music is absolutely splendid, and Copland reworked it as music for a great city. So there was, he salvaged quite a bit of it, but the actual film score was considered lost. I mean, the actual recording, there were only a few copies made of it. Unfortunately, one of them survived, and it was released in, I think, 2006 or 2003, somewhere around there, by Varese Sarabande and Robert Townsend, who is, of course, the guru of film music everywhere. I mean, if you know music for a great city, then you've basically got the essence of it. And it's a wonderful piece to it, a very different style from Copland's usual, Wild West stuff, the kind of stuff you hear on most of this disc. I mean, the music for movies contains the following: New England Countryside, Barley Wagons, Sunday Traffic. That was from another documentary he did called The City. Grover's Corners, and Threshing Machines, which is one of these fabulous, mechanical imitations, like the Antheil Ballet Mécanique or Frederick Rzewski's, Winsboro Cotton Mill Blues. Oh, they're just wonderful when you have instruments imitating these giant mechanized things. Fabulous music. And then you get the Prairie Journal, which is his music for radio. as well, all organized and wonderful and unfamiliar to people who even enjoy Copland, which I just find incomprehensible, because this and these performances is without a doubt one of the greatest recordings ever. Perfectly put together, fabulously played, gloriously recorded. I mean, you really need to hear this. You've just got to, or else your life will not be worth living. Guarantee it. Anyway, if you don't hear it, whatever, keep on listening. That's the key. Keep on listening and take care. Thank you so much for joining me.